Hey everyone, today we're gonna learn how to draw realistically using oil pastels. Oil pastels can be tricky to use to create realistic paintings. But today we're gonna learn how to do it with the least expensive materials and tools, even if they're not the best quality. The materials I use for this drawing are smooth gray paper. There's a myth that you need to use rough paper for oil pastels so that the paper can absorb more color. This is not true. You'll end up spending a lot of time and effort trying to fill in the paper's pores, and this applies to both oil and soft pastels. Banche oil pastels in thin sticks. I use these because they're affordable and easy to find. An oil painting knife. A blending pen. This is used to further blend colors and create smooth transitions. The ear is the organ with the most tonal variations, and its realism comes from applying the right light and shadow. It doesn't require advanced techniques like the eye or a lot of details like the lips. First, we draw an accurate outline and start with the highlights. That's why we use tone paper. Then, we add highlights next to the brightest spots to create gradual transitions. Oil pastels don't completely cover the layers underneath. They blend with them. After finishing the highlights, I work on the shadows. I start with black, then move on to browns gradually. First dark brown, then reddish brown, and finally skin tones. Should I start with dark or light tones? It doesn't really matter, as long as you preserve the areas for the highlights. You can work on the dark areas first, then transition gradually to the lighter ones. The important thing is to layer from dark to light and re-emphasize the dark areas, as dark tones tend to lighten over time. So, the key is to give proper attention to both light and dark tones. When I want one color to blend into another, I shade with a slightly rough technique, leaving some texture on the paper. I prefer starting with the background, as it helps me determine the overall darkness of the drawing. To smooth out the layers, I add closed circular strokes without pressing hard. For anything with black tones, it's best to blend them. There are several blending methods, like using a blending stump, plant-based turpentine, or a cotton swab. The second layer of the drawing focuses on emphasizing light and shadow, followed by color and tone. As mentioned earlier, tone is more important than color. I blend each color into the next to intensify the hue and then reinforce the color itself, often using a blending stump. During summer, colors tend to be creamier and softer, but in winter they become more brittle due to the cold. It's essential to keep your paper clean from color residue to prevent it from affecting your artwork. I always have a tissue on hand to gently remove any excess color. Pay close attention to light and shadow, and use a realistic blending technique by gradually blending colors into each other. Focus on tone rather than specific color to create depth and form in your painting. Oil pastels are similar to wooden crayons and require a large amount of color. There's no guarantee that mixing two colors will produce a predictable third color, so I apply the exact color I need and blend it with the surrounding hues. Oil pastels are versatile and can be used for various techniques, from realistic paintings to sketches. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. Bye bye.